Hey guys, I'm Rachel Cruz.
I'm George Camel.
And this is Smart Money Happy Hour. Cheers, George.
Cheers.
I love this coupe and I love this drink.
Mocktail of the century? Wait and find out.
Wow. Well, this is the show where two friends who happen to be money experts talk about what you're talking about. So everything from pop culture, current events, and money.
And I hope they're talking about this, Rachel, because today we're talking about why nothing is enjoyable anymore.
Can I just say I'm not looking forward to this episode. This is George's moodiness that came out in a content meeting. And he's like, why are we all here? And everyone's like, we should do an episode
It wasn't
on
an
this.
existential
And now we're
crisis.
here. And now we're here.
Sure,
That's what you need
it's
to
a
know.
little emo, but as always, Rachel will make it fun and redeem it and make it great. It's what she
There's
does.
so much weight on that
We'll explain
statement.
more.
Okay, well, while we're doing that and I'm having to pick us up off the ground, what are we sipping on?
We are sipping on a lemon drop mocktail. And let me say, for me saying nothing in life is enjoyable anymore, I am really enjoying this. I think this is the mocktail we needed.
This is the ray of sunshine.
It's what America needs right now.
And I will say, some of our cocktails have not been quite,
up to snuff.
This is delicious. I don't know if it's because it's sweet, but
So if you want the rating and the cost per glass and the recipe, stick around till the end of the episode and we'll tell you what it takes to make yourself a lemon drop mocktail.
I love it. It's so great.
Okay, Rachel, here's the thing.
All right.
Wanting more is always the problem. I know it sounds very like minimalist and cool of me.
No, we talk about that a lot though, yeah.
But like our society, we spend tons of time and money indulging in stuff that we think is going to bring us joy, but it always lets us down. And there's a $10 word for this. Can I tell you? Ephemeral.
I'm sorry?
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral.
And it means like a temporary,
Like we're looking like Netflix. Like I'm going to just binge something.
joy
I'm
is
going to
ephemeral.
scroll. I'm going to just scroll Instagram. I'm going to...
Yeah. But I think there's an explanation to this.
Okay, tell me.
Scientifically. You ready for this? And I'm not Andrew Huberman. This is not Huberman Lab.
You're not?
I'm not a neuroscientist as much as I look like I should have been one.
George, I would have thought you were.
It comes down to one word. Dope. In this case, we're not talking about a traditional drug. We're talking about dopamine, which is the happy brain chemical that's released in our body when you experience pleasure and joy. It's kind of this built-in reward system, which is good. This is a rush that makes us feel good, and it makes us want to repeat the experience.
Okay.
Which is where a lot of addictions come from. You're looking for that dopamine rush.
Yep. You're
again and again.
And we talk about that with like online shopping. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Or maybe you like smell something really good, like food-wise. You're like, oh my
We've
gosh,
been on a
restaurant,
cookie
I'm gonna go
kick,
there.
and every
Yeah.
time those cookies are in the oven, the dopamine rush.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Being in the sunshine,
Oh, that's good.
getting a little vitamin D, there's some dopamine there.
Earning money can give you a dopamine hit.
Does feel good to earn money.
Yeah. Dancing.
I only feel shame when I dance. But for some people, it makes them feel good. I think that's wonderful. Fresh laundry.
Oh, that's good.
Now, the folding of laundry,
Not
sadness.
so much, but when you like, but warm laundry coming out of the dryer,
Nothing
so
like
great.
it.
Hugs, I mean, I think that's just like,
That's true.
this feels good. This is great.
Yep.
This is
Have
a
you done
great
the whole
moment.
John Deloney thing where it's like you have an extended, like you hug Winston for like, and it has to be a certain amount of time?
No, I haven't even heard
a
of
minute
this.
or something.
No, I haven't even heard of
And
this.
it releases all kinds of,
Dopamine?
I guess, like
Oh, for a
oxytocin
longer hug?
chemicals. I don't know. It's supposed to be really good for you.
No, but sure.
You should try it tonight. Just go to Winston and just an embrace for like 60
I feel like we
seconds. He's going to be weirded out.
No, he'd be like, thank God, physical touch.
Aww.
It's his love language.
Maybe I should hug Winston.
I had to learn not to be a patter, y'all. I was a patter.
No.
Stop patting me. I was like, I'm sorry.
Not the people you love.
I don't know. I just subconscious. I don't know. I'm just a mover and a shaker, George. I don't, I'm not a.
Wow.
So, anyways, I wonder how long our hugs are.
There we go.
I'm gonna say 10 seconds.
What are your personal?
I feel like there's like a long.
So clearly,
embrace.
it's not physical touch. What are your personal dopamine triggers? What gives you joy?
I'm gonna say shopping. Honestly, like a scroll an Instagram. Like I'm like, there's something in that's like, right? Isn't that a dopamine hit? Is that one?
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, like I think that's there. That's not a good. It's not good. Not a good dopamine hit, but good like restaurants, I would say, like being out to eat.
Oh, that's a good one. Like
Yeah.
a great bite of food, like the first
Yes.
bite of a really
Oh my
amazing
gosh.
meal.
And the earning money one was interesting, but because I'm like, I can get like when Winston and I talk about like our goals or like he's like flipping houses now. So he's like, yeah, the return here or it's closing on this date. And we're gonna get that. Like, there is something that's like, oh my gosh, this is so fun.
There's
like,
a rush there.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
fair.
So I get that. Okay, how about you?
A working coupon code.
When you type it in and it works.
When you type it in and it works, and it's like you just got 20% off.
You think
There's few greater things in life.
Mm-hmm.
The other one recently that I shouldn't be as joyful for, I think it's called Schadenfreude, which is like
I'm sorry, what?
getting joy from other people's pain.
Oh.
But it's like secondhand regret. Like when I didn't do something that someone else did that they regret. I really enjoy that.
Because you're like, I really want to buy that awesome
Yeah.
thing, and you don't, but then you see someone else buy it, and then they hate
Here's
it.
a great example. Some of the people in this room, they went on a journey to North Carolina to get an $800 gift card to a used bookstore. And the deal was you have to visit all 5 locations of this used bookstore in the same day to get the $800 gift card. And they stamp a passport at each location. Apparently, it was terrible. Like there was 10,000 people did it, 14,000 people. It was
No
chaos. They waited in
way.
line for hours in the heat. Ambulances came, heat exhaustion, heat stroke.
What?
Yes. And I had never had more joy than being like, I'm so glad I said no to that trip. And I apologize to our audio engineer, Will Rudder, who went on the trip. Anyone else in this room go on that trip? A block on camera over
so
here.
you're getting a gift card to a used bookstore?
Yes, $800 in credit.
Because you read a lot of books at used bookstores?
No, they don't buy books. They have like vinyl instruments. Trust me, these guys are not heavy readers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just the idea of getting, now you would think, well, George must love that.
Because it's a good deal.
$800
That's a lot of
and
time,
free
though.
gift card. But the idea of like road tripping to North Carolina and leaving my wife and baby to be like, hey, babe, I'm going to come back with like a gift card. We're going to get
$800 for vinyls.
to get more books that I'm not going to read.
Yeah.
It would have been a nightmare.
Good. I'm so glad they had a
So I
horrible
got
time
joy from
for
that.
you.
Canceled plans is another one. Like plans I already was like, I thought this was going to be fun a month ago when we booked it. And now and it wasn't on my volition. It was canceled unbeknownst to me.
Yes, but you're
that
like,
gives me great joy.
Okay, yeah.
An open night that was once closed.
Yes. And is that with like good friends? Any friends?
No, good friends, I would say that would be sad.
Yeah, it's
Most
kind
of these people, I wouldn't say
Yeah,
are.
good friends.
It's sort of like a thing that I was like, oh gosh, all right, fine, we'll do that thing.
I know. Yep.
So those are some of mine.
I've
I
been
know
there.
that doesn't paint me in a great light because most of those are negative things.
Gosh.
Dog cuddles are another one. I mean, just like when my French bulldogs are just like, let me embrace them.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah. You know.
Do you not hug your dog?
We've talked about this on the show. I think I'm becoming less of a dog person. My husband is though. So like June is everywhere. Like if he's there, she's there.
Okay.
And I think
That's where he gets his physical touch, apparently.
she gives him a lot of affection. No.
This is a cry for help.
No, I'm
from
not.
Winston.
I don't cuddle.
You have no
usually
interest in touching
usually
said
we're on
dog.
this couch, like if Winston or like we're watching a show or something, and here comes June, just and I'm like, Dad, come it, June. This is how it goes, June, and she plops up behind Winston's neck, and she's like looking at me, and I'm like, fine, Winston. He picked
move
her.
away.
Well, because I don't want her sniffing on me right there in my neck. No. So
It's a
that's how it
dog.
happens.
It's not a snake.
I know. Why are you rubbing off on me? I was so happy at the beginning of this. I love my dog. I do. Just sometimes when they just jump up on you're not supposed to, and they're all over you. You're like, what are you doing?
Well, the lesson learned here is we all find our joy in different ways.
Tyler's clapping.
One
Thank
person's
you.
heaven is another person's personal hell. And I think that's
Isn't that
okay.
funny?
It's
That
okay
is
to
so
admit
true.
that.
I know.
Well,
I do love our dog though. She's really sweet.
Dopamine is part of what motivates
It's like
us.
she's gonna listen to this.
She will now.
Everyone's like, Rachel's not a dog person.
Winston's going to be like, listen to this. This is how your mom feels
this is
about
how
you.
I know.
All right. Well,
God
dopamine
bless.
is part of what motivates us to reach our goals and do the more difficult survival-y stuff, things like eat, drink, and compete to win something, which you're really good at. You're very competitive. You have the dopamine levels, I feel like, are more rock solid than Stonehenge. You are very, you love the rush of the win.
Yes.
You love to succeed at anything in life.
Yes.
Have you ever failed?
No. I'm just kidding.
I rest my case. Your
No.
Honor.
Yeah, I think it is fun because it brings some adventure in life. Sometimes life can just It's just kind of
But don't you think
mundane.
in 2024, like everything is dopamine? Like that's the goal of any
I know.
experience
I mean,
now?
it is probably true, right?
Like
Can
buying
we have
something-
over dopamine? Like we've over dopamined ourselves is what they talk about. Like, and then you're needing more and more of it, and then it gets worse and worse.
Well, I mean, think about it. We have like social media, constant dopamine rush.
Not good.
2 days shipping, like all of that, just spending money and getting things quickly, the instant gratification, DoorDash, Instacart, video games.
And you know what? In our
News stories, celebrities.
in our depression, suicide, all the bad stats are up.
That's right, in our face.
Back in the Pilgrim times, I bet they weren't.
That's
it
true.
wasn't like this.
So we probably seek the dopamine to cope
Yes.
with the chaos and reality of what's being
really
shoved
going
in
on.
our faces.
Yes, because there's so much.
It's pretty philosophical. I think you're
Man.
onto something here. Huh. But don't you get a dopamine on payday? Be honest. Like when that hits your bank account, isn't it like, it's a good day?
Yeah, for sure. Happened today.
It did happen today.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats to you too, and to everyone in this room who got paid for working.
But can I tell you the most exciting part? We instantly transferred a bunch of money to savings. That was the best part. It wasn't the
Oh,
payday.
you like that?
It was like seeing savings grow. That gives me joy.
Oh no, see, I just see it as like
More money to spend.
spend.
My precious.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I like to see the checking account number high, big.
No, it leaves the checking account. The checking account number is so low that it's like
Oh
sad.
my gosh, that stresses. No, that stresses
And I'm like,
me out.
let's see if we can survive on this. What a challenge.
So yeah,
So all this dopamine eventually backfires, Rachel. Our brain is constantly flooded with high levels of dopamine. It adapts, and now that becomes your new normal. You've heard the word,
Yes.
you built a tolerance.
that's what I was asking about. Earlier. I bet that. Yeah, that has to be true.
So then you need to find a new dopamine rush
Yes.
that can beat that just to feel
What a
something.
terrible cycle we're in.
But doesn't that kind of explain America right now?
Yes, I think so. We just keep needing more and
extremes,
more and
the
more and more and more
chaos.
and more.
And so we're trying with this episode to reset ourselves, especially when it comes to money, because money is directly related to those dopamine rushes. And that's why that little treat you get, it just doesn't hit the same anymore, doesn't get your dopamine levels higher than your new normal. Or when you're endlessly scrolling Netflix, you end up choosing nothing because no option feels more exciting than the next. The question we're trying to answer here is, are we dopamine deficient or are we overloaded?
I think we're overloaded. Right?
But we constantly need more.
Yeah.
So either way, it's an endless cycle.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's an endless cycle, Rachel. It never ends. And that's why I'm struggling to enjoy anything in life.
I know. Why is that, George? Just because of the.
Don't know. Everything's just
You
sort
are
of
a
lost its luster, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
But you just had a baby.
That's true.
which I
The
feel like-
baby is the one thing that I'm like, Mia truly gives me joy.
Yeah. Oh.
When she laughs and she's like, da, 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 and she starts talking to me like we have the best
great.
time. This
Yes.
truly, I'm like, this is the best dopamine rush.
Yes.
And I
that's right.
cannot build a tolerance to it.
That's right. It just keeps on. Give me more.
Yes.
Give me more.
So that is true. Having a baby is a great way to break the cycle.
Yeah. And I do wonder if like simplicity in life helps with all of this, right? Like we kind of talked about like minimalism or like no spend, months or whatever it is. But I do think when you start to minimize stuff and realize it's a level of contentment that stuff is not going to make you happy. And it's like buying that purse or buying that thing or whatever it is. Like it's fun and that's great, but like it does not fulfill you the way you think it does. I think that when you kind of get to that point, and not that anyone's probably perfect or arrives, but there is a settling, and then you actually can enjoy like the things in life that are just simple and sweet and great,
That's the maturity. And as people age, you tend to see that. Like, oh gosh, I love spending time with, whatever
Yes.
person because
Yeah.
they're just older and more mature. They don't need as much stuff and stimulation. And can I give a shout out to Whitney? This weekend,
Mm-hmm.
she cleared out her closet, got rid of so much, like multiple huge, like trash bag size
Yes.
bags filled with clothes
Yes.
that she was ready to let go of. And this is the second purge she's done. A lot of the stuff still has tags on it. And she's just like, I'm going to donate it. I'm going to do thread up and maybe make some money later on down the road.
Yeah.
But there's a piece of it that you're like, why did we buy this in the first place?
I know.
What did we think was going to happen? And it was the initial dopamine rush of, ooh, new clothes.
It
I'm going to
is.
look cute. It'll be a great outfit. And then it sits on the shelf with the tag still on.
Yep.
Have you been there?
Totally. Oh. George.
Wow,
This is
maybe
my
this
life.
is Rachel's therapy
This is
session.
my life.
Tell
No,
me
I'm
more.
kidding.
How many
I'm kidding.
articles of clothing?
No, but mine is like, oh, I like that shirt. I'll get it in black and gray. Ooh, they have a tank top version. Well, I'll get
So it's just
that
kinda
in
more
white
and more.
and yeah, or whatever. Yeah, mine's just that. It's like, oh, if I like that product, then I'm definitely gonna. And then you just end up with a ton of crap.
That's fair.
That's mine. That's my downfall.
Well, and we've talked about The Comfort Crisis before, which is a great book from Michael Easter.
Great book.
And I think that's part of this. You know, we now have these basic expectations, air conditioning, 24/7 access to music in the car or wherever we are all the time, to every song in the world. But back in the day, Rachel had to fight on Kazaa and Napster to download that one song.
And then the virus would hit, and you'd have to tell your parents, I'm illegally downloading music again.
What a roller coaster of emotion that was.
That was not good.
The dopamine
or
rush
dial
into
up
the
for
chaos.
AOL to get on Instant Messenger. You
Don't
had
you
to
think
wait.
a part of it was the struggle to get something was
well,
sort
and
of the
it's
journey?
patience. It takes long. Everything was longer.
And now that we have everything in our palm, it's not like, it's just like, eh.
Yes.
I listen to less music now that I have access to all of it.
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that
I
weird?
would have like died as like a teenager to be able to pick a song.
Like if I told you, hey, Rachel, here's Spotify. You can listen to anything.
I would be you didn't even think
Right
that would
there.
exist.
No
you know
viruses.
What I mean? It's crazy. No viruses.
It is kind of weird. Like waiting months for a new movie or a show to premiere, and you had to be home when TGI, I was on to watch Boy Meets World.
Yes.
Like those it felt like a different time.
Yeah, and again, I think because it forces you to experience things you don't want to experience, commercials or buying the whole album just to get the one song, like whatever it is, like you're having to experience things that are not that's not what you wanted, but that's life. And now it's kind of like you can curate your life and get what you want right when you want it.
So there's kind of a squirrel brain with this instant gratification
Yeah,
culture.
I mean, it
So
has to affect us.
how does this affect our budgets?
Well, I think it causes us to not budget, number one. I think it could feel like, I don't want to feel this somewhat discomfort of having to plan. Again, you're forward thinking when you're budgeting. It takes intentionality. It takes time.
Delayed gratification.
And it's not always fun. Sometimes there's months that you're like, oh my gosh, we can't do that category. That category has to lower. Like, if you're on a commission system and it's like a lower month, sometimes it's like, oh man, it's kind of a bummer. So you're having to experience emotions that's not just like, we're going to just live on a whim, right? It's a level of life that you have to experience when you budget.
Put that chunk of money toward debt payoff or saving or investing versus spending, getting to enjoy it now.
Right.
There's a piece of that adulting that just hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
In a world that feels chaotic, it's easy to justify. It was like, well, I don't know.
That's right.
When my next meal will be, so let me get Chick-fil-A again.
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
it
all
burns you on the other side when you're not doing that, right? When it is this like living on a whim. So the budget does give you those guardrails. And it is kind of still an old school philosophy with money, right? I mean, like planning a budget has been around for a long time.
Yes.
But it's one that still works. It's something that we need.
Well,
so,
and food is one of the biggest dopamine triggers for humans. And to not have to cook and instead just go get takeout or get a better meal than we could have cooked at home, that is one of the biggest budget busters. And I think it's directly related to that level of dopamine, delayed gratification.
100%. To be able to be in control of your money, have a boundary is so key. So you can actually create your first budget for free if you go to everydollar.com/smartmoney, or we'll put the link in the description, but make sure to do that and do your first budget, because again, I think it gives you this level of control, which might be a dopamine hit too. Who knows?
That's true. But it also just slows you down. It lets you live with intentionality and make sure that you're spending for the right reasons instead of just to get that rush. Like this dopamine stuff can cause us to make crazy decisions and risky decisions. When you think about, people who play the lottery or gamble or do sports betting, there's this feeling of like, but what if this is the one, Rachel? What if this is the one that hits? And then you want that high again and again, even when you lose.
Right. Addiction can pair with this so fast. All of this. Yeah.
So you got to be real careful.
Yeah, for sure. And something else you have to be careful with is your data, George, when it comes to being online.
What a segue.
Because, you're welcome.
That was really good.
Thanks. Because your data is everywhere all the time, more than you even realize. And what's crazy is when I signed up with Delete Me, their thoroughness of going through the process and then automatically seeing pretty quickly, they're very fast with showing you like, oh my gosh, your data's here, 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 and they're removing it. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Yes.
It was unbelievable.
And I'm so glad they've partnered with us on this podcast. It's a great moment for this episode in particular because when it comes to the internet, we are instantly just adding all of our information, filling out all these forms, giving them our email, our phone number, not thinking about what's going to happen on the other side. And so this can lead to some problems down the road with scams and online fraud. And so Delete Me scours the internet, removes your info, sends you the report saying, here's exactly where we moved it from, here's what was out there. And it gives me peace of mind. And it sort of can just calm me down
Yeah.
in a world full of chaos.
For sure. And again, there's these data brokers out there that will take your data and sell it. And Delete Me
Gross.
catches that. So it's really good. It's a really great service, you guys. So make sure to check it out.
They're
Yes.
offering our fans 20% off any of the Delete Me plans by going to joindeleteme.com/smartmoney, or you can go to the link in the show notes to check it out.
I love it. Okay, George. So we've talked about we need this dopamine hit more and more today because of instant gratification, because of all the technology, the quickness of everything. Like everything is just so fast and instant. It's pretty wild. And you can get whatever you want. There's not a lot of patience in our world today. So how do we combat this? Like, what does that look like? Because to create friction in your life is not fun. Like, I think we would choose the easy way out. We would choose the convenient path. I would, right? But then after a while, you just realize, God, it's kind of like eating away at our souls.
Yeah.
So creating that friction and being uncomfortable is key. That's why I loved The Comfort Crisis. I read that book a few years ago. And it was like, oh my gosh, like, we really have designed a world
Like add some struggle back in.
Everything is comfortable. And we weren't designed to do that from a mental standpoint, even to a physical standpoint, like what our bodies were created to do physically, like you don't do anymore. That's what got me into back to working out and cold plunging and all of that stuff.
Wow.
The Comfort Crisis.
I'm just like adding some struggle back in because that's where some true joy and growth lies.
Well, and health. And like
And
you look
health.
at it, I mean, truly, like it is better for you to do these things physically. And then again, from an emotional standpoint, it's good to have boundaries on things like social media, not being on it all the time, technology, like all of that stuff. Like it's better for you overall.
I just keep thinking of WALL-E, the old movie.
Yeah.
It was really like an animated documentary of what life was going to be like in 2024. We're just in our like moving recliners and like people feed us. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to do anything.
It's so
and
true.
I do think that part of the reason we don't have the things we really want in life is because we've just relegated it to dopamine and comfort and whatever's in the now instead of doing the hard thing. So how do we break this? Well, number one, I think we need to unflood our brains from all this dopamine. So we kind of need a dopamine detox, which means taking a 30-day break from the biggest dopamine triggers in your life, which is
Mine
hard.
would be Instagram.
Oh, that's very honest.
Yep.
Just the constant scrolling.
Yes, y'all. I will get in bed. I used to read all the time at night, and I'll read maybe like every 2 nights. But sometimes, I mean, I tell Winston, I'm like, yeah, we'll catch up and all of it. So it's not like we're not connected. But there's a point that I'm like, I just want to I want to check out. Like, I just want, like, I don't want anyone to need me. I just want to
just
scroll through Reels,
Yep.
which is TikTok, but like a month later. And
Thank you for being honest.
yes,
That's on
and
growth.
just check out, right? I mean, do you feel that?
100%.
Yeah.
I think my smartphone in general is the one thing I would say that is my dopamine trigger. It's just like, I'm not even doing anything. I just go to it, open app, see notification, nothing. Go to other app, notification, anything,
Nothing.
maybe, something.
See, I don't do that. You browse apps. See, I don't. I like literally think
I
I
just
go to
click
Instagram and the
around
weather.
in a flurry of ADD and squirrel brain
Just here's this. Yeah.
until I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I even on my phone?
Yes, I know.
So let's get practical here. If your biggest dopamine triggers include shopping or giving into the Instagram ads like Rachel, or competing with others by buying nice and trendy stuff like Rachel,
No,
again,
I
I
don't
know
wanna compete
idea what
with others.
that's like. Maybe your detox needs to be a no spend month,
Yes.
which we've talked about in previous episodes.
I know. That would be a good practice. That's a good thing.
And this is not like we don't spend a dime. It's we're only going to spend money on the necessities. We're going to put food on the table, basic food. We're not eating out. We're going to cover the utility bills. We're going to cover transportation needs like gas and fuel, whatever. And we're going to cover our housing. Other than that, what else do you really need?
Yeah.
And then figure it out. Like, do we really need to spend money on that this month? And part of this is pre-planning a good month. Don't do it in a month where it's like, well, Amelia has her soccer camp and Charles is going to, space
Right.
camp. Don't do it on a month that's going to be difficult for your family. But choose a month where traditionally there's not a ton going on.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, so there's some tactical side of this episode, but also it's just the philosophical. We got to think, people. George, are you happier after this episode?
I do feel better just venting. I
Okay,
think that's
good.
what therapy is like.
Maybe so.
You know? But I still have that like ecclesiastical King Solomon, everything is meaningless vibe deep within.
Yeah.
That kind of
And
emo.
I think that's probably, there's truth in that though, right? I mean, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like,
I think
right?
it's healthy to have a like low-key existential crisis every once in a while.
Yeah.
To go like, what really matters here?
See, when I have those though, I end up spending more money.
Rachel's like, well, you only live once.
I'm like, you know what?
Buy the top in
Go.
gray. It looked great in navy.
You know what I thought of? Actually, someone told me this, and I took it, made it my own. So I can't remember who said this to me, but they said, put your time and your energy in things that money can't buy.
Ooh.
And that's it.
And what can't money buy? Give us some examples of what that might look like.
A wonderful spouse that you truly love. I'd say the relational side, right? Family, friends, your health.
Yes.
You can't buy health.
Healthy body, healthy relationships.
Yeah, you can't buy nature. So I think there's an element of like being out in nature. You can't buy a relationship with God. Like, yeah, what are the things that you can't buy? And put your time and your energy and your money into those things.
And truthfully, just liking yourself. You can't
Yes.
buy that. And most people are chasing something else because they can't deal with the person in the mirror.
That's when therapy comes in. Learn about the inner child. It's great work, y'all. Everyone should do it. It's
That's
good.
just
I agree.
This
I'm
whole
with
thing
you.
is one giant ad for therapy and reading your Bible. And I think that sums up what really matters in life.
I think it's great.
You know, work on yourself so you can be better for others, be better
Yes.
for your community, and realize that joy is not in a thing.
I agree. Amen.
What
Hallelujah.
a great episode. I really enjoyed this.
Wow,
Okay,
so
what's
good.
your dopamine detox look like? What are you willing to
What?
give up for 30 days?
What are we doing?
What are you giving up? This is part of the
Let's do
episode.
a challenge.
It's a challenge.
And like,
Wasn't signed up for that part of this episode.
Rachel gives up nothing.
Okay,
That really
will
means
I
a lot.
not buy clothes? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try it.
I think you
And I'll be
should.
honest if I fail, y'all. But
Okay.
I don't care because
Yeah.
I still go to heaven and I'm fine.
Yes, you should
Again,
challenge. Yes, you
very
should do that.
defensive for no reason whatsoever.
I'm already setting myself up to fail.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I think I'm going to give up being so kind. I think I've been giving
Oh my gosh. Being so
I'm
happy.
kidding. Can I be real?
Yeah. Alcohol?
Okay. I'm trying to just give it, not for like I'm drinking too much at all, but because
We
I
do
am
that.
the worst shape I've ever been in.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
alcohol,
you gotta nix
I've been
alcohol.
eating sweets and ice cream and just like a
Gotta
little
nix all that.
And so I'm trying to nix all of that. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to commit. Other than this show, I will commit to not drinking.
Okay, that's good.
Is that fair?
That's great.
Okay.
That's a good one.
And again, I will let
And
you know if
honestly,
I
you're
fail.
gonna feel great. We do detoxes randomly, like throughout the year.
Yeah.
But we won't drink for like periods of time. It's good.
It's great.
It's good
It's
for
great to
you.
detox.
Alcohol's not good for
I
you,
love
even
it.
though this show is called Happy Hour.
We're not your role models. Remember that.
Okay. Well, wow, George.
We went deep. Can I just say I'm proud of us for going,
Is that deep for you?
okay, I take it back. We stuck very surface level, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. All right.
I mean,
that
no
was
one
good.
cried. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah,
So-
no. But we got to the heart of some issues. All right. Well, it's almost the end of the episode, and we close out every episode with
Guilty as
charged. And this is where our producer, Lindsay, gives us a new guilty as charged question every week. And if we are guilty, we take a sip. So, Lindsay.
I've got a good one. So, what is the longest amount of screen time your iPhone has told you about that you're embarrassed to say? So, like, you know how you can go on that feature and see,
I think
like,
we're both about to
you
go
know,
on
they're
that
like,
feature.
you were down like 40%.
Yeah, I
yeah.
turned those
This week.
notifications
So
off
now
as
you gotta
soon as they
What
came
is,
in.
where do
So
you
I do
go?
not
How
need
do you
this
find it? Do you
negativity.
know? Settings?
Oh, yes. I'm trying to remember. Let me look at it.
Focus?
too.
Screen time.
There you go.
Total screen time for the week. What does it say down at the bottom? Right there. It's okay. Mine's worse. Don't worry.
Oh, it is? Okay. No, are you sure? Holy crap, y'all. Okay, and I had Google Maps on from the lake to and from the
Okay,
reunion.
you do not need to
So, like,
justify.
I-
Just say the thing.
10 hours and 21 minutes.
Okay.
9 hours and 17 minutes.
I wonder what mine is.
Man.
That's bad, y'all. That is bad. Well, it shows you what apps were used.
I'm
during that time.
down from, yeah.
So if you click on it, it'll show you like, hey, this much was social.
Mine
this
is
much was-
Instagram, y'all. Should I give up Instagram or shopping?
There's no way you could give up Instagram.
Why?
It's part of your job.
Yeah, that is true. That's
I feel good
unfortunate.
about myself compared to you.
Well, that's the goal.
But mine's
First
normally
use
Can I
After
tell you
pickup.
though, productivity and finance, 58 minutes.
Okay. That's
My
good.
messages are at 62. So, like, I talk to my friends a lot. And you can't buy friends.
What a good
can't.
person.
Good job.
Can you tell us how much was Instagram, or is that illegal?
I mean, it's pretty bad. If this is for a week,
Sure.
3 hours and 34 minutes.
Okay. Not as bad as I thought.
Okay. It's pretty bad, though. Okay. Well, we're guilty.
We're all guilty.
I mean,
We're
the longest
guilty.
amount of time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's too much. Whatever it is, anyone watching, it's simply too much.
So stupid.
Unless your answer is 0.
All right, George. Well, who finished their drink first? I think I did. I loved this drink. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I would order it at a restaurant if I was drinking a mocktail that night.
I'm going to go 11 out of 10. The highly esteemed 11 out of 10. Every sip is just like, woo,
So
dopamine.
good. What is in it? Whoa, dopamine. What's in it?
It's got lemon juice, simple syrup, club soda, sugar, and ice. So essentially, you made lemonade.
With a little flair. With a little flair.
No, but it's like sour. It's more sour than lemonade.
The ratio of lemon juice is spot on. It's perfectly
It's
balanced
so
with the
good.
sour and sweet, which is what makes a lemon drop a lemon drop.
Yeah.
And this is a mocktail, so make it for your kids because they'll just think it's lemonade. But you can put it in a fancy glass, and the key here is to rim it with sugar instead of salt, and it makes it even more delicious.
Yep, so
and it
good.
comes out to 59 cents per glass.
Well done.
Have your kids run a lemonade stand with these bad boys,
Oh, that's fun.
and I will pay good money.
That's good.
I'll pay $5 for that.
I love it.
And Rachel, since we were so brave going first, giving the audience our detox challenge, I want to know what they're signing up for. So drop a comment wherever you're watching or hop over to YouTube and drop a comment letting us know what your detox challenge is for the next 30 days, and we will keep you accountable.
Absolutely. So great. Well, it's closing time. So, you guys, thanks always for listening and watching. We love reading your comments and your DMs because I will
We
be
do.
on Instagram, not giving that up. So, message us that you love the show. We love seeing the pictures, everything. It's so fun to interact with you guys. We really do appreciate it. Make sure to share the show too with your friends and your family because you can't buy those. So spread the love. So great. And if you want to check out an episode on kind of like that, we're minimalizing things, check out our homesteading episode.
Trying to get off social media, homesteading is about as far away as you can get.
It's a good one.
That was a
It's
great
a good
episode.
one.
Check it out.
Well, we'll see you guys next Thursday on an all new episode of Smart Money Happy Hour.